What's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Factorio. You guys have been seeming to like Factorio, so I will, be continuing to play this game. So in the last episode, we went ahead and set up this little furnace array kind of thing here. We expanded the steam a little bit. I mean, we got a lot done. But now, the problem is, we have all of this copper and iron, but we don't have anything to do with it. So, I will go ahead here, and, oops, that's the wrong way. And I need that to turn, thank you. We're gonna need a lot of conveyor belts because we are going to be making this basically go pretty far up. And then also let me go ahead and just insert some iron into here because I know that we're gonna need it. Because hold on, let me actually check. The conveyor belts, yeah, they don't even need any copper, so iron is definitely going to be important, but copper as well, because we only have 76 copper right now. So, and I just realized that they're becoming full, but we don't even have enough copper. It seems to actually get all the way down here, which is kind of funny. But we will go ahead and collect all of this. Now, I don't know if I also said anything about this, but basically, you were probably wondering, like, why are there, why can you see the stuff in there? Well, by pressing the Alt key, you can see which way these are going. You can also see the contents inside a certain thing, and I just think it makes it a lot easier. So yeah, that's a thing. Also, I just realized we do need to somewhat keep this area open here because iron will eventually be going up this area. Sorry, my voice kind of went off there. For steel processing, but for now we don't have to worry about that. So, I need to pick an area where I'm going to do red science. Now, red science does, it's kind of present basically in everything. But, in the later stages it's not as important, because we can make it really cheap, obviously. And, we need things like green and blue science packs rather than just red. So, for now, though, red is pretty important. So we are going to need a pretty big production of a red science pack. So to make a red science pack, we need 1 copper plate and 1 iron gear wheel. And so to do that, first we need to pick a spot. I would say over here. No, actually, we should probably do it like out here, maybe. As this lake is like really inconvenient. If this lake wasn't here, we would do it right here, and that would be all good. And then, we wouldn't have to really mess with anything else. But I'm assuming eventually the steel is probably actually going to be processed about right here. So we probably can just make it for here, or, here for now. So let's go ahead, kind of go up this way a bit more. So the iron gear wheel is the only thing we actually need to make in the thing that is called the assembling machine. So we're going to go ahead and make a few of those. And so basically what you can do is you can place it down. And again, I've talked about how I don't want to make this like a huge tutorial, really. But, I just, kind of want to place the assembling machine down. That, when the iron plate goes in, obviously, if we go to here and see the iron gear wheel for 2 iron plates, that goes into the thing here with an inserter or whatever. It'll actually make the iron gear wheel. So we will get a splitter to go ahead and split some of the iron, some of the iron basically off the main trail. And I don't know why I'm expanding coal up at this point, because we don't need any up here. But I guess, it's whatever. So, we will split off iron plates about here, and then we also need a splitter and some underground belts, actually probably multiple underground belts for our copper to get over here. So then we're going to turn this iron here, and what we're also actually going to do is we are going to make this double-sided. So we are going to have to make another splitter. That's basically just so it can hold more iron. And I just realized I probably should be doing that down here as well, so that I have more capacity, for iron on just a single little rail here. And for now, that'll kind of increase the iron production a lot and make it so we don't have a bunch of excess, but eventually it'll catch up. So, we're also going to have a splitter here. Go ahead and run a rail out here. A rail? Did I really just call that a rail? Yes, there are actually trains in this game, so I don't want to confuse you by saying a rail. And then the copper plates, you know what, actually, we're going to do one behind this. Um, so let's do that. Place that down. Go ahead and place that there. And obviously, this, you know, like the underground belts don't go extremely far. So I had to place two there. Did I just say bear? So anyways, now we will place our assembling machines here. We're gonna leave one spot in between each, just for, you know, the power lines that we need to put in. I don't know why I just made more, because I just realized we already have some. So I'm gonna need 5 regular inserters and 5 long-handed inserters, and obviously they're gonna need power. I will go ahead and run this power line down, just, you know, kind of getting the maximum reach here. And then like so. So now everything up here, and this is triggering me. Let me make it a little more centered. So now everything up here will have power. Let's go ahead and, oh, we don't have any more transport belts. That's going to be a problem. So then we will go ahead, and I actually just realized we... Okay, well, there's a problem now, and that's the fact that I forgot this is just going to be iron gear wheels, like so. So iron gear wheels, and we will run this down here, like so, and then obviously insert the iron into them, and so now we are making iron gear wheels. But now we need to get the iron gear wheels over to the copper. So if we were to do this, would it place the iron? Yes, okay, this is what we need. Sweet. So now all we have to do is run this down here, basically. Make sure I do that. So now we have iron gear wheels and you know, the copper plates basically on the same one. Make 5 more assembling machines, like so. And sorry if sometimes, you know, like these episodes we won't be able to get a ton done, and that's because obviously sometimes I have to wait for things to craft and you know, just other stuff. It's kind of slow compared to Terraria. But while that does that, I will go ahead and kind of get some more resources here. And then one other thing I'm planning is getting more power, like more steam engines, and because of that, we will place down more mines, because the copper production, as you can see, is going to struggle to kind of catch up, basically. So, iron gear wheels, they're coming down here, and then we will go ahead and put this down. Oops, that's the wrong spot. Okay, and then we have these. Then we will obviously place more power rail, or no, power rails. What? I I am honestly confused why I just said power rails, because there's no such thing. I was talking about rares. Wow. Obviously, I can't speak today. I was talking about rails earlier, but I was not ever talking about, like, I don't even know. Anyways, these all here will be dedicated to making red science. And so I will cut this part out while our fast inserters go ahead and make. They're finishing up, so now basically we're going to put, and these are fast inserters, and you can tell, you know, I mean, look how fast they are. And that, you know, that's kind of a given, obviously, because I don't even, never mind. Sometimes I say stupid things, and you know that if you watch me. Basically, I'm going to place 2 fast inserters on each one. What? Oh, I'm like, wait, what? What? And this one does not have power. How convenient. Let me go ahead and move this pole all the way up here to interrupt the process. So now, these are all making science packs pretty rapidly. So we're also going to need 5 more inserters and some more transport belts, and then 5 laboratories. And I will be back when all that's made. Basically, also off camera, what I'm going to do is go ahead and probably make some more boilers or whatever, so that we can get some more power, because I have a feeling that we don't have enough boilers for what we're trying to do. I'm back early, because the turrets are already researched basically as soon as I, like, had placed down, you know, the stuff, the stuff. Yeah, you can see I have a little system here. So basically, they're putting the red science packs in these chests, and you're kind of wondering, like, why is this all red? Well, basically, there's this limit inventory button of this chest. So I click it, and I can drag it. So only these 2 slots will ever actually be able to be filled up, meaning that, you know, this isn't always going to be just filling these chests. It's only going to have a maximum of 2 stacks in here because I don't want to overwork. Oh my gosh, that's already done too. So yeah, we're actually probably going to get a lot of research done here pretty quickly, honestly, because I mean, just look how well. That's not super fast, but it's still pretty fast. And one other reason I like this design, because I mean, you can probably see it at this point, but this is infinitely scalable that way, obviously, if we have enough power. But yeah, this is pretty much infinitely scalable that way. And that's the reason I kind of like this whole bus line thing here. Makes it a little less confusing. So now to kind of keep up with our, more copper and iron demand, it's time to make, how many boilers do we currently have? 16. We're going to make 10 more steam engines. I don't know why I was saying boilers. So we're going to make, some more of those. Yeah, because, I mean, look at the performance now. Obviously it's not crazy high, but, it's getting up there. So, anyways, we're making some more boilers. We do have lights now, so at night, I will be placing down some lights. And then, just to go along with the more power, we'll be making, so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll be making 5 mining drills, which you will see me place down in a minute or so. Basically, I'm going to wait till, and I just pointed at my screen, and I always forget I don't have a face cam, so you can't even see where I point. But, ooh, that's done. Stone walls, sure, we'll research that. Let me actually go ahead and put some, well, yeah, to put this down, we're actually going to have to wait, because I'm going to put some pipes so that these start kind of wrapping around this way, just so it doesn't go down this way, like, super far and get way far away from the factory, because I don't like that. Oh, I just realized, I don't know if you guys remember, but, we have a, oh, and this is automation too, which is important. I just realized we have our mines up here that we're mining stone, and they've run out, and so now we have a bunch of stone. And I do need to kind of make a little storage area. So anyways, I'll kind of wait till everything's done, put some more stuff down, and come back, because I don't want to make the episode too long. So, yeah, our steam engines, obviously, the performance isn't even at halfway, but I just, like to have that sense of feeling that I don't ever have to worry. Wait, did I just say sense of feeling? Can someone explain what that means? Oh my god. So I actually, have to chop down some trees here. Also, we did get some more research. We got, steel, we got a few other minor things. We researched military. Armor crafting? Sure, why not? It only costs 10. And yeah, if you can see in that top right, corner, that's going pretty quickly. So here in a second, I'll be rudely interrupted again. And so first, let's go ahead and yep, there's that. I guess let's do armor crafting too, just because that's only 30. Making sure this has enough water and temperature and everything. Let's put this down again. I just need to make sure there's like a gap in between so that I can put power lines. Yeah, so there's a gap there. This actually has a too big of a gap, so we need to move that over 1. That's disappointing because that takes a while to mine those out. Well, actually not too long, but so we're going to place 5 on each. I just like this, kind of wrapping these around, because if I want 5 more down, then it would just be getting way far away from the factory. And I just placed 4 on the other side, I don't know why. So let's go ahead and place more power poles here. And I realize, like in every episode, I call the poles basically a different name. I'm just going to call them power poles from now on. So let's go ahead and place all those down. So yeah, now our power is pretty nice. The performance obviously isn't struggling now, as we have a pretty hefty amount of steam engines now. How many do we have? I think 28? 26, okay. Obviously the mines are using almost like half the power of everything, because they do require a lot of power. So you can see up here I placed 2 more mines for copper, 2 more for iron, and 1 more for coal down here. And then I did actually make lights, and when it turns night, you'll go ahead and see those turn on. So let's see how much of a build-up we have. Not much, actually. Not much build-up at all, really. I wouldn't even call it build-up. And I don't know what that is. So anyways, the next thing we kind of have to do here is steel, honestly, because we do have steel processing, and steel is very important, because green science will be a thing here soon. Actually, I just realized steel isn't important at all, really, for Science Pack 2, but Science Pack 2 definitely is a lot harder to make than the red one. And I just want to show you something here on the map. It doesn't look impressive at this point, but when the factory gets bigger, it looks like a circuit board or something. It is like super cool, with all like the the things you can see basically. But obviously, as the factory isn't very big, it's not gonna look very cool. So anyways, it is now time to go ahead and kind of set up more of like an area, I think, um, for steel, because in the next episode we'll kind of start with steel processing. So, how many furnaces are here? 1, 2, or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So there's 12 furnaces. Um, so that's 12. And we may have to move these power poles here. And I don't know why I made 13 apparently. Anyways, we are going to have to make basically another smelting array for iron, and we're probably going to have to increase the iron drill kind of like thing here. And I just realized I skipped over a research screen. You see a lot of these require green. We don't even have any green yet, so we'll just have to kind of upgrade the things that don't obviously require green. So let's do bullet damage, just to protect against those stray aliens that may come eventually. So this we will have to make an underground belt for, so that it does not interrupt that thing there. So I'm actually going to go around for this part with the iron. The raw iron, I guess, can go ahead and come in about right here, maybe? And then the furnaces will go here. I just realized also we are going to need coal. So we're going to need a splitter and some more underground belts. Because obviously we need coal. I mean, I don't know why I wasn't thinking we needed coal. So let's go ahead, do a splitter here. We can go ahead and do this. Go underground. Yeah, we're going to have to move these poles here, basically. So, let's go ahead and, yeah, that's basically going to shut down the production there. Also, you can go ahead and see the lights now. So our factory is pretty much lit up at this point. And I will move up the iron just a tiny bit here, obviously, because coal is up here. We're going to have to move iron up here as well. And for now, I don't think we're really going to need steel all the way up here. But this is actually dangerously close to this, so that's probably a stupid thing to do. Excuse me. There's one for the burp counter. Anyways, I will go ahead and make some inserters. I realize I need some long-handed inserters. Just because I don't want to make the episode too long, I will come back when this furnace area for steel is done. So, after a little tinkering, I have finally kind of came up with a thing here. So, I realized after I was building this that, it doesn't actually need, iron to make steel. It needs iron plates to make steel. But I realized if I were to take, iron plates off this line, then these would go, like, into overdrive, basically, because I wouldn't be able to keep up with supplying basically everything in the factory and making steel. So I placed 2 more mines down. I went ahead, split this here, and I made these iron plates. So you can see this is a whole separate iron plate thing that's brand new. They come down here, and then the coal line continues this way. Right here, it disconnects, so this would be any excess iron ore that we ever have would end up here. It cuts here, and then the iron ore travels past this, is picked up to put into these 6 furnaces here, and these long-handed inserters pick up the coal, and then it smelts the iron into steel, which puts it on this belt. Now, at this point, we don't actually have any use, like immediate use, I should say, for steel. So, that's going to just stay there for now, kind of dormant. And then I realized that, well, this iron, the amount of iron this is making, it's going to build up here, and it's not really going to do much. So what I decided to do also, I'm busy researching here. Bullet shooting speed, shotgun shell speed, that's good. So I just kind of wrapped it around and connected it to this, so any excess iron plates will go into the main, the main bus here, basically feeding everything else. So one last thing, if we go on the map here, you can see all this kind of red stuff. You see it kind of flashing here. That's called pollution. And if pollution, well, I don't know why I just scrolled out that far, but if this red stuff were to get all the way over to here, it would actually trigger the aliens. They would just start coming and attacking the factory, basically. And that's not good. I realize I haven't, if anything, it's going to hit this side kind of first. And I realized I'm probably, should go ahead and explore a little up here, because right here on the map you can see I'm about at the edge of the pollution, but this is pretty far out. So I'm going to do a little time lapse of us just kind of exploring a little out here, seeing if we can uncover some. Oh, I think I see one already. Is that? No, that's copper. Anyways, I will just explore a little out here and see if I find any enemy bases. And oh, that's desert. Never mind. We didn't discover too much of a threat. There is one little base over here, but that we could probably take that down, honestly, pretty easily. This base over here, I'm not sure if there's anything that, lies beyond this, but this appears to just be a little single base. But the part I'm worried about is up here. That's at least 6 or so kind of spawners, and then there's even more up here. So, that's a pretty big threat. We're almost running out of upgrades we can do right now, but I mean, look how big this map is. So, we can expand a while, and when we get more advanced military and stuff, we can definitely go and, have a go at taking those down. So, oh wow, there's like 70-something in here. This is stacking up. So, you know what I might do? Let's have a go at this. So basically, I'll cut back here and I'll see if this works. Hopefully it does. Alright, I'm back. I just realized I said my famous catchphrase. So anyways, basically what I did here is I made, now this won't be too hard on the demand, but basically it's kind of doubling our lab, like production or speed, basically. Because now we actually have 10 labs working instead of just a few. But basically what this is doing is it has some inserters, putting them on transport belts, just bringing them down here. Doesn't really interfere with anything else. Let me look at the performance, because I don't think that put much stress. Yeah, it didn't put an extreme amount of stress on it, but the labs do take a pretty decent amount of power, as you can see. So, we've gotten a lot done. We've gone from, not having anything up here to now producing red science packs at a pretty rapid rate, as long as making steel and just some other, quality of life things. So if you enjoyed Factorio, make sure you do drop a comment or a like saying you want to see more. Obviously, I'll continue Factorio just as long as you guys show the interest in Factorio, but if no one wants to see Factorio, then I won't play it anymore. But personally, I find it pretty interesting. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.